Good afternoon, guys. So, I'm in the utility room right now, and as you can hear, I have the water filling. So this is going to be the reveal video, I guess. So the Ohana is done, or I don't know if it's ever really done, but it's done to the point where we went ahead and listed it on Airbnb. I'm in the utility room because I repaired the leak. I don't know if you guys remember from the last video, there was a leak here on this connection. So I replaced all that, and I didn't fill up the water tank before because I knew I was going to have to replace that. So I only put in just enough to run it. Anyway, that's fixed now. Water's filling. So thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in, and let's walk around and look at stuff. All right, so we are outside the Ohana. As you can see, I got all the trim done on the utility room. There's still no roof on there yet. There will be. I'll get all this done here in the next day or two once there's some dry weather. It's been raining a lot the last few days. So this is the Ohana in its finished state, I guess. And yes, I still need to build a carport, but we don't need that to be able to list it for rental. So let's kind of go up here. I power washed all of the deck to clean it up. Got everything cleaned off of here. Wait for this car to go by. Kick off my shoes. So the deck is all cleaned up, like I said. Everything is done in here. So we will go inside and turn on some lights. Okay, so we have a little bit of artwork hung on the wall. We're gonna have more. The TV is up. I think that was in the last video. Don't pay attention to that stuff. It's not gonna stay in here. My wife was doing a couple tattoos, so she had was set up down here in the Ohana. So let me turn this off because it's kind of noisy. All right. So as you can see, we got some new pillows for the couch. And yes, I will be building the Murphy bed again. We don't need that to rent it, and we may end up not doing it, but I'll talk about that later in the video. So everything is done. I believe all this was shown except for the stairs. The stairs were not finished before. The stairs are finished now. So painted, there's treads on there, carpet treads. So we'll go up. This section is finished out now. Grouting where the tile meets the wood. And in the bedroom, of course, you guys that have been watching for a while, you've seen this. I'm too close though, but the Polynesian tribal inset on the pocket door. And this is the bedroom. Turn on the lights. These lights also work. Close that door. So looking down, at some point I am going to do some kind of dividing wall here to close the space up. But right now it's pretty cool to have and to be able to look down over the living room area. The closet is pretty much finished out. Have a rack there for suitcases. The bed is done. let me turn on that light to get the full effect. So queen size bed. It's a little tight walking around, but I mean, it's a tiny house, so, you know. And I made this bed frame. It is all out of solid maple, or mango, solid mango, all mango slabs. So the little end tables, the headboard, the frame and everything is all mango. So let's go over here. And then that one. So these ones match. They have a similar pattern. This is a bigger door though, so it has like a bordering pattern over that pattern. Those are done. And let me put light switch. Okay. So this bathroom you guys had seen before because it was pretty much finished. Oh, I need to put this back. This is actually supposed to be hanging. Okay. I was doing some touch-up paint. All right. So there's that. Oh, there's my hand on the mirror. So this is the vanity for the half bath with the drawer. I'm supposed to hang those up somewhere, but I'll get to that later. So that's this bathroom. And also there's a nightlight and then a fan and light for ventilation as well. Although the fan, waiting, there it goes. There's like a 30-second delay or something. So that's on. Turn off these lights. This fan is here. I originally was going to put a ceiling fan in here. I did find one that was short enough, I guess, or it would have been high enough for people to walk under, but I thought it would have been kind of, didn't want to take the chance in case someone tall rented. So I ended up getting this wall-mounted fan here. It has a remote control, which is over there on the nightstand, and it runs, it oscillates, you can control the speed, has a bunch of different settings. So it has all the buttons here where you can do that as well. Whoops, power. Yeah. All the settings, oscillation, sleep mode, all that. So it does pretty good circulation though. That is the bathroom. Turn this light off and these lights off. So looking down the stairs to the living room. This light. Oh, see, I need to finish that. Don't tell anyone. Still going through finding little things that I missed. There's always something, right? Now to the downstairs bathroom. Has this door with the monstera and banana leaves. And this piece is made to look like barn doors, but it doesn't actually function. And then I added a piece behind it that's painted the same color as the kitchen cabinets. And a little touch of color accent. And here, vanity light, the main or shower light and fan. Then there's a night light in there as well. And then in this one, the fan's on its own button. So this is the main bathroom, downstairs bathroom. Yeah. Rug. These are soft close, soft open. I really like that. Linear drain. So I think pretty much anyone that's watched the videos up to this point saw this. This bathroom was done. This artwork here. Whoa. And then on the inside of these doors, there's also a full-size mirror. So the bathroom upstairs is the same way, has a full-size mirror on the inside. All right, back in the living room. And now we'll look at the kitchen. So this is the dining room area. And that's with the pendant lights on. So that's a carbon monoxide sensor, CO sensor, as well as a gas sensor. Since I have a propane stove installed, I wanted to have a combo so it actually sense both. So that is the breakfast bar. And then coming into the kitchen, there's a fire extinguisher mounted here. The cabinets under the stairs. There's this one here where there's the trash and then a few things stored in there. This one down here is going to be, can be locked, but that's basically like cleaning supplies and whatnot. So going around, I'll put this on ultra wide mode just to get a kind of a better view. Microwave cabinet, stove, oven, drawers. And then the countertops themselves, which I don't think, if you follow the Instagram account, you saw that because I did post the countertops. Tile backsplash. This is the same tile from the bathroom that's on the wall and floor. Not the accent wall, obviously, but same tile cut into 4x6 tiles and then put up there. Mango floating shelves, wine glasses, coffee cups, plates, bowls, regular cups, microwave, storage above the microwave, which there's nothing up there right now, just the exhaust fan vent, sink, which the way that this was installed was nice. There's a slight overhang here, so turned out really good. And then the last set of cabinets that I had to build were these ones here. So there's not much in here yet. We started putting some stuff. There's a toaster up there, coffee grinder, a little pour over coffee maker, the filters, and then the main coffee maker. And up here there's some Tupperware. And then the fridge, full-size fridge, which of course there's nothing in here either, some water, and nothing in the freezer, some ice cube trays. And then some artwork there. We will be adding more artwork. I think we're gonna have a piece here, and I have another piece that's gonna be going over here on the side of the TV. As far as the Murphy bed, I'm still going to be building it, I believe. But that essentially is a tour of the whole Ohana. So I hope you guys like it. I guess let me go out and we'll take a look at the utility room. All right, so as you can see, like I said, all the trim is done on here. Just have to paint it. Utility room. So there's water all over the floor because I had to cut these pipes. There's still some water in the tank, obviously, so that's why it's all wet in here. It's all wet over there because it was raining. So this was never shown in the last video, but the propane tank, the manifold, and then the line going into the house. So it goes in there, goes into the yellow gas line. I forget the name of the type, but it looks very similar to this. It's like a stainless steel gas line. So basically it goes in there, it tees off. One side runs to the stove, and then the other side runs over here, comes out, goes into the hot water, instant hot water. And of course this is all on and running, so it has been up for a little while. I think I set this up right after the last video that I finished. I was waiting on that manifold to show up. Ended up actually being the wrong manifold, so I ordered the right manifold. It ended up working because I bought some extra parts at Ace, but in this box I actually have the right manifold, because I didn't realize the 100-pound propane tanks have a different fitting than your standard one. Like what goes onto your barbecue grill is this type, where it goes over, and then the 100-pound ones actually go inside. So had to change that out. But this eventually will have two lines. There will be two tanks here. You can switch this over by going one way or the other. And as long as it's green, that means you have gas. So where the arrow is pointing is the supply side. Then it goes in here, it's reduced to like 5 psi, I think it is, something like that is what goes into the house. And then if this tank goes empty, basically this green will turn red. I'll flip it to the other tank, and then I can disconnect this and go get it filled. So, and this is, you can see that there's a lot of junk in here. This has kind of become the collection point of all the stuff that I sort of still have to do. So, nice, tank is filling. It's about right there, so it's good. We've been getting all this rain, that's why I was in a hurry. I wanted to get this tank filled up. You know, why our tank up there is overflowing. So all of that you guys saw in the last video. The instant water heater actually does require electricity because it's an electric start. So the spark basically to ignite the gas for the heater is electric. So you can see if it'll show up, the two little dots there. So basically when the water pressure goes down, so you open a hot water valve, let's say inside the house, the water pressure drops, that kicks this on. As long as water is flowing, the heater will stay on. And then once you turn off the valve, the water stops, the heater turns off, is basically how this works. So that's where it's, you know, the instant hot water. It only heats when you're using the water, essentially. So it's supposed to be more efficient. You're not heating and storing and trying to keep a big tank of water hot, you know, for however long. I will, of course, be adding a door here. That's another thing on the list. So let's go back into the house. All right, so now you guys have seen the entire place. So basically what I was talking about whether or not I will be doing the Murphy bed. The reason for that is recently a new bill passed in Hawaii County, which is Bill 47. So Bill 47 is basically trying to phase out short-term rentals that are not in resort areas. So if you live outside of, you know, let's say downtown Hilo area, where the hotels are, or within a certain radius. I don't know what the radius is, like how many miles or whatever, but we're well outside of Hilo. So basically what the bill does is it is trying to phase out any non-resort short-term rentals. And this is countywide, so the entire island. And basically the bill goes into effect December 20th, which is, I think, about 6 weeks or so from the time that I'm recording it. Today is October, I think today's October 28th. So we have that many days basically, which is about 6 weeks, 7 weeks, somewhere around there. So as of right now, this is live on Airbnb, and I'll put a link in the description below. But basically that's why we are unsure of how we're going to move forward. So the plan all along of starting this whole build, which has been, over 2 years ago now, I think it was June or July of 2023 is when I first poured the footings for the Ohana, for the foundation of the Ohana. So that's 2 years and a few months. July, August, September, October. So yeah, 2 years and a few months. And part of the reason for the delay was because I went to go build a house in Kona, over on Kona side, Captain Cook. And that took almost a year. And during the time that I was doing that, I wasn't working on the Ohana. So some of you that follow the channel and watch all the videos know, you remember I was barely putting out any videos at that time, maybe one every couple of months, if that. But it was pretty infrequent. It's infrequent again now too. But anyways, so now it's like, if I wouldn't have gone to build that house and I would have worked on this, then, maybe a year ago we would have had this up and running. And there may have been some kind of a grandfathering or something that we could have done with the new bill. But the main issue is because this is not a permitted structure. We didn't pull permits when we built this structure. And part of the new licensing that you have to do through the county to be able to rent short term, you have to, of course, have a permitted structure. It is possible to go and have the structure permitted, but it takes a little time and it costs a lot of money. So the woman that I was talking to that actually does the process, she said it would end up being around $20,000. Basically, you're paying all of the permitting, all of the inspections, the penalties for not doing it the first time around. And you have to find electricians and you have to find plumbers that are licensed that will sign off on the work that was done in order for you to get the permitting. Just like if you were going through the permitting process, you have to have a licensed electrician and a licensed plumber do everything. And then they pull their own permits, and then their permits are subbed under your, permit. Anyway, it is possible, but we don't have $25,000 to spend on that right now. So the plan is the listing is going to remain active on Airbnb until December 20th. And then we're going to find out what's going to happen with short-term rentals, if it's going to be enforced, if it's going to change, because these bills over the last, 3 years, 2 to 3 years, basically after COVID, they started, messing with these bills. And their whole point, from what I understand, is because they say that there's a housing shortage, and they want people that are renting these Airbnbs to rent them to people that live here. But of course, the county is always behind. Right now, I think the first time in decades, possibly, there's actually a surplus of housing. So they are behind. And there are people that are trying to fight these, these short-term rental bills and laws that are being sent and passed, because a lot of people, that's how they live. That's how they get by here. They have property, they have the rental, and that's their only source of income. So luckily for myself and my wife, my wife works a full-time job. I work pretty much a full-time job doing construction. So yeah, I mean, this was going to help so that I could hopefully work less, and eventually my wife could work less. But we're unsure of what's going to happen now. So our kind of plan A was Airbnb or VRBO, or most likely Airbnb. That's the platform that we use the most. So Airbnb, we could have made as much as $4,000 to $5,000 a month, let's say. Our plan B was to try and do something on Fern Finder or a similar site for like traveling nurses or traveling professionals who basically would come in and they would do, like a 6-month stay or a 3-month stay, possibly up to a 12-month stay. And that we could make a little bit more money. I mean, it'd be less money than Airbnb, but we're probably looking in the range of 2,000 to maybe 3,000 is the most that we could make doing that. And we've even looked at, including like one of our vehicles with the rental, because a lot of times people come here for work and they don't have a vehicle, so then they either have to buy a vehicle or rent a vehicle. So we have a RAV4 that's still in good shape, and if we included that in the rental, then we could get a little more money, but still we probably couldn't get more than $2,500 to $3,000. The plan C is to just rent this, regular rental, 12-month lease type thing to, someone who lives here. And with that, we're probably could only make $1,500 to $2,000. So you can see like fairly dramatic step downs of income. So of course we wanted to do the Airbnb because we could make the most money doing that. And that would basically give us money to go to the next project. So, yeah. I'm very relieved that this is at this point to where it's done, to where we can actually rent it. So we'll see what happens going forward. Like I said, we have about a 6 to 7 week window where we're still okay until the new bill goes into effect. So if you're looking to travel to the Big Island Hilo side in the next 6 weeks, then book our Airbnb. After that, for right now, it is blocked out, and it'll probably be unlisted at that point until we figure out what's actually happening. So depending on that outcome will depend on how we move forward. But anyway, I hope that wasn't too long-winded. I wanted to kind of explain the situation of what's going on here. And it's not just Hawaii. I hear about this happening in, all different parts of the country where I guess it's the hotel people that are trying to put these laws into effect because they're losing money or whatever it is. I don't know what the driving factors all the time is in different areas, but anyway, so right now it's done. It's available. So come and stay. And that's it. So I'm not sure when I will have another video out. If I do the carport, I may do a video for that, but I probably won't, because it's going to be a relatively quick thing. That's like a one or a couple days work at most. So yeah, I'm not sure when I'll have another video out. Depending on how this goes, the whole point of this was to get money coming in so that I could transition to blacksmithing full-time. So there's a lot of little other projects that need to happen, things in my shop to finish up and all that. yeah, so basically, like I said, I don't know when I'll have another video out, but I really want to just say thank you guys for the ones that have been watching me for years, and for the new people watching. I appreciate it, even though I never intended to be like a YouTuber, or you know, I'm not. My channel is not monetized. I don't make any money from this, so. Maybe someday, I guess, if it gets real big and I hit the algorithm right, then, you know, I might make 20 or 50 bucks. All right, now I'm just rambling on. I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. Like I said, if you guys are interested in staying in the next 6 weeks or so, the link is going to be in the description below. And I want to say mahalos for everyone that watched over the past several years. I will try and have a new video out when I get a new project going. I will see you guys on the next video, whenever that may be. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Ahui ho and aloha.